Hey, I'm Latif with BevNET. I'm here with John Craven. We're at Natural Products Expo West 2017. John, this show really showcased the emerging trend of cold brew, not just in coffee but in tea, and we're starting to see that processing method really take hold.
Yeah, I think it's almost nowadays about, if you can cold brew it, if you can put nitro into it, there are just all these different trends sort of converging, right? And I think this year we saw it sort of, the lines blur a lot. I mean, I think we saw everything from, standard cold brew coffee all the way over to, nitro cold brew hibiscus.
Right.
So, it's really kind of all over the map now.
Yeah, on the coffee front, we saw some established brands just look for different packaging options, look for different ways to kind of offer their cold brew. Chameleon in particular, they were really pushing their kegs, including nitro as well. They also came out with cold brew coffee beans, which is something that they're marketing as well. On the, sort of more newer kind of or less established brands, Secret Squirrel is really pushing the envelope with different flavors. What do you think of what they're doing?
Yeah, I think, their stuff's pretty neat. They're, one of the brands or few brands that I think is still like really committed to HPP. The graphics are great, product tastes great. I think, it's interesting. I mean, cold brew coffee has been all about this kind of smoother, less acidic taste, and, they've definitely nailed that.
Also the higher caffeine content. We saw a couple different shots, Forto and also Busy Coffee, which is now completely shot.
Right, I think that's another one that, cold brew coffee in a shot is something that, I certainly wouldn't have predicted that we'd see.
Yep.
It makes sense. I mean, it's a product format, like you said, where, consumers are trying it because it has more caffeine. Why not distill that down into, something that's almost closer to an energy product? So, pretty neat stuff.
Yeah, and on the nitro and the draft front, a lot of the stuff that we've seen moving from on-premise, moving from those draft lines into cans, Caveman Coffee, Be Sweet is another one that did that. That frothy texture, they're finally getting that right kind of feeling and texture in the can.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's obviously been a big, R&D thing. La Colombe's been working heavily on that too. And, I think the nitro products that are ready to drink have definitely made a lot of progress over the past 2 years. It still seems like it's kind of early to tell like what the real market potential is for those. Obviously commanding a higher price point too. But I mean, personally, they're some of my more favorite products to consume in that space.
Yeah, Be Sweet, really a small brand here in Los Angeles. They've got their matcha nitro, but we also saw some other cold brew products, cold brew teas that is here launched at the show. Secret Squirrel also launched, in addition to their cold brew coffee, they have a new cold brew tea line. Ito Wen introduced 4 new cold brew tea products, 2 for their Matcha Love line and 2 for their Teas tea line.
And Evolution Fresh.
Evolution Fresh as well. They have a new cooler line, which is cold pressed juice merged or melded with cold brew tea. It's a watermelon juice base and tea blended together.
Yeah, I mean, I think a few years back we saw, cold brew teas from Harmless Harvest and such.
And Suja,
and, that stuff kind of didn't really take at the time, but it seems like at this point the fact that cold brew as a concept is a couple years further along, it seems like the interest level in those products and people's ability to understand it, at least in the industry, is definitely improved. So maybe it'll have a better shake the second go around.
Yeah, and I think it's also helped that you're starting to see cold brew coffee used as an ingredient, blended with plant-based milks and whatnot. People are really just starting to see the awareness for that cold brew versus just say iced is really becoming more clear.
Right, I thought that was sort of neat seeing it as an ingredient. I think there was even a chocolate that had cold brew coffee in the middle of it, so pretty neat to see it kind of going into other, product categories too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all kind of shakes out in 2017.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, that's it for cold brew trends here at the show. Please stay tuned for much more from Expo West 2017.